Hello there, collectors. It is Steven here, kicking off the Rampage movie figure reviews. And to start everything off, I'm starting with Lizzie and her Canister Contact set. As you might be able to guess by the title, we have the base form of Lizzie here right before she gets turned into the gigantic monster that we see on the screen. At least, that's a hunch that I have, and you'll see why in a little bit. So, for about $10 at retail, is this set worth it? We get one baby kaiju and we get some military stuff, so this review just might help you out. Let's take a look to see whether or not it's worth adding into your collection. Now, before we formally get started with this review, let's take a look at the box this Lizzie set comes in. Here is a look at the front of the box with a nice window display, so this way you can actually see what you're getting, and then the back of the box where you just see some promo pictures and a couple of blurbs here and there which may or may not actually be accurate to this box. You'll see that on the Mega George figure. Anyway, here is a little synopsis of the movie, and you can go ahead and click on pause to read that if you want. Now, on to the review. So when we get right down to brass tacks for Lizzie, I'm going to have to be completely honest here. If I didn't know this was supposed to be Lizzie from the world-renowned Rampage franchise, I would just assume that this was a generic crocodile. Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. I don't really fault Leonard. I have to make that perfectly clear here, but, well, you know what? Let's actually take a closer look and see how well they did. When you look up close at Lizzie, you can really tell that the detailing is actually pretty great for the price point. Admittedly, by the teeth, a little bit of chipping here and there, and the pupils for the eyes, not necessarily dead center where they should be, but you know what? That's okay. That's the only thing that I'm going to have to complain about for this figure in terms of how it looks, because the red that is used on the spikes on the back and on the rib cage area, let's say, it's really great. And we also have some very light green dry brushing throughout the figure to really bring out the scales. To be perfectly honest, the figure is also textured despite feeling like rubber, so this way you can actually feel some rough spots on Lizzie. Overall, she's in a fantastic action pose, and I gotta say, they did a great job of giving us a nice crocodile action figure one way or another. Action figure. Ooh, that is a very loose term here. Because when it comes to articulation, her mouth opens and closes. That's it. Like I said, she kind of feels rubbery, bendy, but beyond that, she's just going to get her mouth to open and close. Yeah, that's a little disappointing. But other than Lizzie, we do have some other things in this set. And we get the generic army dude, of course, because what else would Leonard be known for aside from the Kong Skull Island stuff? Yeah, just generic, not G.I. Joe army filler. So this guy here, to be perfectly honest, he's kind of forgettable. I don't even really know if he's been used before in any other product because, as you'll see in a little bit, if you're familiar with the Skull Island stuff, they do like to reuse parts, if you haven't guessed that already. But, yeah, forgettable army dude who can be eaten up by any of your dinosaur figures. So, what articulation do we have for this guy? His head swivels around at the neck. We do have the shoulder swivel and hinge, so this way you can spin his arm around. We do have a bicep swivel and an elbow hinge. Unfortunately, the wrists do not move. We do have a swivel at the waists. The hips are on swivels, and the knees are on hinges. So you can get him into some fun action poses, but realistically speaking, beyond that, not too much going on here. Now, if you're going to have the generic army dude, you're going to need some weapons. So, included with Lizzie is this nice model kit designed like, if you will, weapon set. It looks like we have a shotgun, we have a pistol with what looks like a silencer, we have a couple of automatic weapons, and we have a grenade. The only thing you're going to have to do is just break them off of the runners here and then stick them into the army guy's hand, and everything will be just fine. I didn't do that here because, well, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, and to be honest, I'm kind of bored with this stuff. It doesn't really interest me too much. But what is cool is if you're familiar with World War II, this should ring a bell. We get this sort of barbed wire protection thing that you can disassemble and reassemble wherever you would like, and you can put it anywhere you would like in your display. Pretty cool. I think the concept is nice, and it's great if you are collecting generic army items, and it would look nice on your shelf. Now, the one last thing for the army dude is the boat that you have seen in the review. So, this is identical to the Kong Skull Island product line boat, just different decals. Yep. So, you know how the guns move, you know how the motor moves, all of that good stuff. It's just that we have some different decals here. We do have 29, 29857 here or there. Gotta have the edgy skulls. Yeah. Also of note, all of the tips on the guns are orange, so this way it's family friendly when it's on the shelf. So this way nobody freaks out and it causes something to be worried about. Now you can actually fit your little army dude into the boat, and yeah, it's not really a natural fit. It kind of looks awkward, but hey, you know what? It's all about how much fun you're having, and I guess pretending, I don't know. It's kind of cool. You think they'd be able to get that right, but unfortunately, they really weren't able to do that. But hey, you know what? It is what it is. I don't think many people are going to be getting it for this army guy. They're going to be getting it for Lizzie. Now to wrap up the accessories, this is a canister contact set, and the only thing that can top that is actually having some canisters. So as you can see here, we get 2 barrels and we get 1 broken canister. They do look pretty nice, and if you're going to set up a Rampage display where there's going to be mutations throughout your display, these are very simple, but they are nice accessories for the theme of Rampage. Now, before we get to the size comparison, here is a comparison with the Big City Brawl Lizzie, where you can clearly see there are some design differences, not just the size. And some people will argue at different sizes you can put in different details, but there are so many differences, such as those little gill things that are popping off of the Big City Brawl Lizzie and those humongous tusks. It makes me think that these kaiju go under change in the movie. Yeah. Spoilers probably, but eh. Now we're going to wrap this review up with a size comparison, and as you can see, these would fit well, generally speaking, in your 6-inch scale display, but if my hunch is right, then these aren't going to be the designs that we're going to know and love in the long run. So, buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. I would have to say Lizzie is undoubtedly the strongest part of this set, while the generic army items are nice to have if you're into that sort of thing. For about $10 though, you really can't go wrong. Unfortunately, Lizzie is just a generic crocodile with some different sort of features, but she's green. Not a fault of Leonard, but they did a great job with what they have. If you're liking what you're seeing, that's exactly what you're going to get, so don't be afraid to hunt these down at retail and pick them up. Otherwise, you're probably going to want to stick to the Big City Brawl figures. Well, folks, that's the end of this review. Thanks for watching, and be sure to follow me on social media to catch more behind-the-scenes shenanigans and updates. The end card should be popping up now with more hand-selected STR goodness for you to watch, so check out some of those videos. Be sure to check the description, too, to see where you can buy this figure or others like it, and some cool links, like the credits for this video, and other ways you can help out the channel. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.